as many of you guys know, bro, I'm gonna keep it so real with you. Los Angeles is burning. The Hills is burning. Pasadena, Palisades and all sort of type of stuff. And I'm a Los Angeles native, right? I grew up here. My spirit's here. I'm actually in tune with what's happening, and I want to give you guys the truth, right? I actually want to dig into what's actually happening because I'm running across a lot of clips on social media, people who don't necessarily understand the history or the spiritual attributes behind what's going on. And I'm not talking about anything religious, right? And I'm going to say that at the beginning of this. I'm not justifying anything with the Bible. That's point blank, period. Say that clearly just right now. And then there's the other side of things where I'm hearing a level of entitlement, right? Coming from people who lost something due to this, right? And I have actually, I'm gonna read this from my notes, right? Because I have a list of things that I'm gonna talk about, and I made sure to write these things down to make sure that I don't miss anything because of how important this is, right? So I want to start off with just pointing out the ecosystem or the land of Los Angeles, right? Those hills is a very important part to the indigenous people, right? Before they came over here, started kicking everybody out, killing people, literally the history is out there. Do your research. Before they came over here and really literally ransacked the natives for this land, they made sure to take those hills, right? For a couple reasons. Elevation. You can see everything when you're up there, right? Waterways and shit like that, rivers, especially right now too. Once you go in those hills, you'll see there's dams every fucking where, right? It's for a reason. There's no water streams going down to the main parts of Los Angeles. The LA River, dry. All those rivers on the East Coast or on the East Side and shit like that, near like the middle of Los Angeles, where all of that water from Hollywood, all them dams and all the Pasadena, all the Palisades, all of that, it would be flowing into those rivers. But our rivers are dry right now. But there's big ass dams sitting everywhere. But anyways, yeah, the elevation and the water sources, main things, right? And then at the bottom, right, where the quote unquote ghettos were, that's where the tribes were kind of like settling in, right? It was flat ground. It wasn't all of this different, no, it wasn't all of that. That was where all the huts and stuff like that, that's where people were gathering. But them hills, it had the actual soil, it had the wildlife, it had the nature, it had all of the vital aspects that we needed to sustain ourselves, right? When you go, even right now, the ghetto, South Central, West LA, just anything that's not on the hills, where we are in a concrete jungle. We couldn't sustain ourselves even if we tried. However, the moment you get to the hills, notice all of a sudden there's more wildlife, there's more nature, there's more vegetation, there's wetter soil. All of these things was on purpose. Why was the hills preserved in the way that it was, but down here wasn't? How did black and brown people found Los Angeles, but we're somehow exiled from majority of the good soil in Los Angeles? Right? When they came over here and took the land, while they were too busy trying to find out economical constructs to exile and redline the people from this space, they completely missed all of the knowledge about how to maintain that land. I saw a video where the lady was saying the natives purposely did not damage the plants. They did not damage the wildlife, because if they did that, they have to give an offering to the plant. It was a sign of respect. If I show you respect, you will feed my family, you will give me shelter, you will keep me, you will give me water, like you will give me the things that I need as long as I respect you. These people went into this wildlife, all of this nature, disrespected it, cut it down, concrete over it, put their $1 million homes on it, and then exiled majority of the people who were native to that type of soil, native to the spirit and the ancestral wisdom, just the whole energy of that soil, exiled them, put a dollar amount on it, put some concrete over it, complete disregard for the space. So no shit, it's burning every fucking year. And right now they said that this is actually the largest it's been in history. No shit. How and how can Los Angeles be dry? Truly. We're right next to the Pacific Ocean. We're on the coastline, first and foremost. California is known for its vegetation. If you go up north a little bit more, this literal national forest. You know how wet a forest is? Do you guys get are you guys clicking what I'm saying when it's like they took the land and didn't get the necessary wisdom and the knowledge about how to maintain the land. So now that the land is kicking your ass, you can't say, oh, it's the governor, it's all this other type of stuff. These things is spiritual things. If you actually knew what you were on, the significance of the land, the wildlife, the nature, and everything else that you're cutting down on a daily basis so you can put a $10 million home on top of it. If you truly understood what was on top of it, you would show a little bit more respect to the space. And things like this wouldn't even be a problem. I promise you, them natives weren't dealing with these fires every year like we are right now. We caused it. And it's and I'm seeing clips where I know that there's people who are in those environments, right? Who are quote unquote poor, paycheck to paycheck too, right? Especially once you start pushing towards Pasadena, Altadena, certain things like that, right? That is just an unfortunate example of spiritual crossfire. You may not have been aware of the land and the things that you were on top of, but you're there. You get what I'm saying? So when those spiritual moments happen, when that ancestral roar happens and it clears out, because in other words, this is our offering, right? Ancestors you can have the land, fine. You're gonna cut down all our plants. You're gonna misuse it, abuse it, all sorts of type of stuff. Fine. We're still gonna get our offering. We're taking the homes with us. Build them back up. That's fine. The more you ruin us, the more we're going to continue ruining you. It's going to be this cycle until we realize we took land that needed to be maintained. And while we were killing everybody that was on the land, we did not ask them, how do we keep this the way that we found it? How do we make it better? No. We thought we were geniuses. I'm just going to put the label of man, thought he was a genius. And he wasn't. It's just crazy seeing that play out. Let me go back to the notes. Racism, redlining, they're keeping us out. All of that stuff is just. And another thing too, the frequency in those hills, right? Anybody who goes on hikes, anybody who goes in nature, or just anybody who's had the benefit of seeing the contrast between the city and nature knows. Even the natives know. Nature affects frequency. Nature affects peace of mind, mental clarity, how you see things, how you operate. It has a very spiritual pull. It clears out the energy. It clears out the space. So progression and things like that can happen. So growth can happen, right? Ghettos don't have none of that. All of the $1 million homes, all the things that you would literally have to work multiple lifetimes to acquire the wealth to put yourself in those type of areas. That's where all the nature's at. It's purifying the space. We don't have that type of shit over here. I'm telling you, what's happening is a lot deeper than the homes that's being lost, right? What's happening is a result of poor maintenance, poor spiritual awareness, and karma. Point blank, period. Is not much more that you can really debate about once you realize it's just poor maintenance of the land from the beginning. Once we took it, it was done, bro. There was rivers all through here. There was vegetation. There was different things that prevented this. What we're dealing with right now is the accumulation of decades of just wrong doings. And I also want you guys to look at a lot of the homes that's up there. A lot of the things that were burnt down was generational wealth, right? That's point blank period. How can I explain this in a way where you get it? If you were white, or if you saying white, if you didn't want somebody of another tribe to occupy your space when you leave, you would give your space to kinfolk. You would give your space to your people. So it wasn't even an option of whether or not somebody from the other ethnicity, race, color, tribe, whatever the case may be, could come over here, because it's already been occupied. When you get an instance where not only there's an economic redlining happening right now, we can't afford to get into that land. We can't afford to get to a place where the land is better. The spiritual attributes is more deeper, more impactful. We can't get there due to economic constructs, right? But then the select few people who do get the money, get the constructs, get the resources to go into those spaces, it's kind of hard to, because it's already been bought up. And I don't think you guys know, families own large chunks of those hills. It's not this instance where it's just a whole bunch of random families, nothing's really connected. When you truly look into the bloodlines and all the intertwinedness of things, all of these people were at time part of some sort of kin. They trace back to each other. A lot of that is generational wealth. Now, of course, through the generations, some kins lose it. Some people don't know how to handle it. They misabuse it. Some people, they wander off. And then that's how, other aspects and stuff started being able to make its way into the scene. But it all started from a generational thing. This was passed down. This is exiled. It's so many different things that's fucked up about them hills, that if they just showed respect to not only who was there first, but the land itself, I promise so much of this we'll start seeing a reverse. But like, hey, America thinks they know it all. They think, money solves everything. They think, I don't know what they think at this point, bro. All I know is that they're ignoring common sense. Common sense. And people are suffering from ignorance. We're not looking at the full picture. I understand, especially the ghettos and all sorts of type of stuff, because we're helping them right now. Cool, right? They're finally dealing with things. Not all of them. I want to say this clearly. But a lot of them are finally dealing with things that we've had to deal with every single day. The scariness of not having a roof over your head, right? We've dealt with that. What happens when our houses burn down? What happens when our houses get flooded out and shit like that? We usually can't go up to the hills and ask for help. That's usually not an option for us, like whether you want to admit it or not. That's not an option. Right now, they have that option to come to our communities, and we're helping them with open arms. Now, what's crazy too? I saw a clip of this dude saying, we should probably help them, or whatever the case may be, instead of, trying to loot, all that type of stuff. Go up there, bring them some water, bring them some resources, go network with these $1 million people. So, so they'll cut you in because they'll remember you helping them at a time. Fuck that. What are you talking about? No. Before I kiss ass, because that's what you're doing. If you're helping these people solely because you want them to help you, you're kissing ass. I don't do that. Before you put that much energy into that, put that energy into helping the dude who's been asking you for help for the last 5 years that you walk past every day. Put your energy into that business that's about to close on your block because you want to drive to Rodeo and go shop in Beverly Hills and neglect the actual store that's 2 minutes away from your house. That got good shit too. We need to reevaluate what's happening. The only reason we feel sympathetic is because we've been through it. We know what it feels like to struggle. We know what it feels like to lose your home, damn near be home. We understand what that feels like as a community, and just our pure hearts, we don't want other people to go through it. But maybe this was something that they needed to see. Something as little as you not knowing how to maintain some shit that you took from somebody can put you in the same predicament as people that you walk past every day, you drive past every day, and you have a stigma in their head. You see a homeless person on the street. A majority of people, I posted a video about this shit. That's fucking crazy. When I was in Beverly Hills and I saw this white lady, she looked at a homeless lady building a hut on the sidewalk and then threatened to call the police on her and all this other type of shit because she felt like she was gonna go out of power. Irrelevant, right? They're dealing with things that a lot of us deal with every day. It's like a taste of their own medicine. So I understand both sides. I understand the ones who are sympathetic because it's like, we've been through this. We know how that feels. We truly know how that feels because it happens on an everyday basis. Lack of money, lack of management, especially when you require money for our management, but then you don't give us enough money. Our houses break down, the plumbing fucks up, fires happens. Shit like that is normal here. They're finally tasting it. Let them get a little taste of reality. We can help them, but give them the truth too. Don't just put a band-aid on top of it. I'm gonna give you this band-aid, but I'm gonna look you dead in your face and tell you why this is happening. Now, if it happens again, it's because you want it to happen. It's no longer a problem of ignorance. You're choosing to do it, and you think you're higher and mighty, or you're above spirituality, your ancestors, just literal laws, just trueness. When your ego thinks you're above certain shit, it will continue happening. So that's my take on it. All love. I really do hope people are safe because, like I said before, I don't want nobody losing their life and all like violent. I hope everybody's safe. But the land that is happening on, there's certain reasons why that's happening. So get away from it. And if you're gonna go back, take care of it. You know, maybe since all of your stuff is burned down now anyways, renovate. Maybe you don't need the 10-bedroom house. Maybe cut it back down to 5. Make the backyard a little, actually start building, plants, farms, because it's crazy too. Because once you get into Panga, part of the play. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I was going to end this video. More shit. Once you drive into places like Topanga, behind Palisades, behind Malibu, all of those like hidden hills and shit like that, right? For one, it's hidden for a reason. Two, not a lot of people really go deep inside of there because, for one, it's very easy to get lost. It's a very racial thing. I've been in there by myself in those hidden hills, like to where it literally just feels like you won't see a soul there. There's nothing but cattle, farms, vegetation, like the important shit. But you feel it. I would hate to be a black man and I run out of gas right here. I would hate to be a black man and my phone die because I have no GPS. I'm lost. I have to ask for help. I would hate for that to happen. Now, you guys can ignore this type of shit, but it's real, yo. They have farms and shit up there. They have things we need. They can self-sustain off that land. That land, occupying that space up there by itself, they can self-sustain. If something was to truly happen, I mean, if something was to actually go down, the hills would be the safest place. You would get confused. You would get lost. You wouldn't notice too many canyons. Like you would have to go to some Stone Age hiking through literal canyons and valleys to understand the depths of what's in there. So, I mean, like I said in other videos, there's archives. You think in those big ass farms and barns where they literally have like damn near like a mile of nothing, just nothingness, just their own farms and vegetation, just random cattle. You thought they don't have little spiritual books, spiritual notes, information, ancestral things I was probably took, just information, like real impactful things hidden inside of all of that space. Like, I really want y'all to just look at the, like I've been saying, it's so much deeper than the fucking houses. It's what's inside of those hills and why those hills in specific just so happens to be some of the most affluent places in America. If it's the most affluent places in America, come on, bro. But yeah, now I'm done talking. I love y'all. Be safe. Prioritize nature. Stop fucking the shit up. Yeah, that's it. I love y'all.